Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Quick Break Games, and welcome to a new entry in the FPS Boost series here on the channel. This is a series where we go through all the LEGO games that got the FPS Boost treatment from Microsoft, and this time we're going to be doing the LEGO Movie Videogame. So this is probably a lesser-known LEGO game compared to what we did last time. Last time we did LEGO Marvel Superheroes 1. That game got the FPS Boost treatment, and now we're doing the LEGO Movie game. So it's probably a lesser known game, so maybe some of you guys haven't heard of this game, but it's a good time to play it now because it got boosted. So if you're not familiar with this feature, this is a feature that is exclusive to the next-gen Microsoft consoles, so the Xbox Series X and Series S. This is Series X gameplay, and this is a feature that takes old Xbox One games. They could start to do 360 and original Xbox games down the road, but right now it's just Xbox One games. And they take games that used to run at 30 frames per second and they boost them up to 60 FPS or even 120 FPS using the power of these new consoles, which is pretty crazy. And speaking of 120, this is actually one of the games that runs at 120 frames per second, not only on the Series X, but even on the Series S. There's not too many Series S games that run at 120, but this is one of them. So this frame rate literally gets quadrupled from the original 30 FPS. Which is just, crazy. This is the main menu you're seeing here. There's lots of cool animations with Emmett. I thought those were kind of cool to showcase the frame rate difference. This is some Bricksburg gameplay here. So on the left is the 30 FPS, and on the right is the 60 FPS. And so basically how I do this is I record this twice. So I play one time with FPS Boost on, and then I play another time with it off. And I try to do the same thing that I did before each time, so things aren't synced up, completely perfect. I just try to repeat what I did the first playthrough, then when I play through it again with FPS Boost on, I try to repeat it. So things won't be, perfectly synced up, but I try to get it pretty close. So this is me kind of walking through Bricksburg. This is the first hub world of this game, and this is kind of where you're going to be hanging out a lot of the time. There's, I don't know, there's maybe like 3 or 4 different hubs in this game. There's not too many. This is the first one. This is the main one. The main city that the movie takes place in. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, yeah, this all comes from the movie. If you've seen it, you're probably familiar with it. So this is a slowed down part. So throughout the video, I do slow it down to, I believe I did 50% speed. And when you do that, it really showcases like the different frame rate between 30 and 60. So the reason I'm not showing 120 is because YouTube does not support that, and I don't think there's even a way to record 120 at this point in time. There's no capture card that supports that. So I can only show 60 here on YouTube, so you can see the difference between 30 and 60. Unfortunately, I can't do the 120. So now we're in the Old West hub world. This is the second hub world of the game, and I think I'm going to switch to Superman here and show off some of the flying. And here I slowed it down, and you can just see how much smoother the flying is on Series X compared to, with FPS Boost off if you're playing on like an old Xbox One or something. And it's just so much smoother, like, because not only does it look smoother, it's one thing to just watch this footage and see how much smoother it is, but when you're actually playing, it makes the game feel way more responsive. There's less delay there, less latency, and it just makes the gameplay smoother and makes it more fun. It's more responsive. So when you push your buttons, it's you get a more immediate reaction, which is what you want to feel when you're playing the game. So I think next we're going to get into one of the levels. Yeah, this is one of the Old West levels. And I think this was a really good showcase. Look at all those fire effects there. This level had a lot of explosions and stuff like that, so I thought it would be a good level to showcase the frame rate difference, because you're seeing a lot of stuff going on, and you can see kind of the difference between when it's running at 60 and when it's running at 30. So here I think I'm going to destroy this water tower. Look at this. Look at the water tower effect there. Look at the choppy 30 frames per second and the 60. It's just like a night and day difference. And it's kind of interesting. The 30 FPS almost looks like, especially when I slow it down like I did just then, it looks kind of like what the movie looks like. Because if you watch the movie, the way they animate the movie, it's meant to look kind of choppy. And obviously that's good for the movie, I think, but that's not very good for video game gameplay. So when you're playing at 30, it really looks more like the movie, which is not exactly a good thing, I would say. So here, this is the last hub world of the game, I believe. This is like the main villain's layer. I think it's called like Octon Tower or something like that, or Labs, I can't remember. But I thought this was a good place to show off as well, because there's lots of different things going on. I think so. I'm in the 30 FPS gameplay, I'm playing as Bruce Wayne, and in the 60 FPS gameplay, I'm playing as Batman. And I think I throw some batarangs around so you can see, the batarangs like to destroy a lot of things. So Seeing stuff get destroyed, I think, is good to see in the different frame rates. But other than that, that's pretty much going to do it for the FPS Boost video here on the LEGO Movie Game. So stay tuned for the next one. We're going to be covering all the LEGO games that got the FPS Boost treatment. So subscribe for that, and I'll see you guys next time here on Quick Break Games.